Hello, everyone. I'm Liu Qiaofeng. I'm a master student in SOC, and today I'm going to talk about the data storytelling. There are two parts in the data storytelling. The first part is story. Stories can be facts, insights, useful messages that are worth sharing, and etc. And stories can also be processes, which it can be a workflow, including the data aggregation, data preposition, and etc. And the second part is narrations. For narrations, the author should provide context. For example, the problems, the queries, and he or she should also illustrate the visualizations with plain text. And the author should also prepare for a group of audience, for example, students. And it should also extract key points or take-home messages. And finally, should also choose suitable medium. There are many aspects in data storytelling, and we will only focus on the two important concepts in narration. The first concept is narrative structure, which includes the Martini glass structure, interactive slideshow, and drill down story. And also the genres, which includes 7 genres: the magazine style, annotated chart, partitioned poster, flowchart, comic strip, slideshow, and film, video, or animation. So for the first structure, the Martini glass structure, it begins with author's questions or observations, or even no text involved. And the author also will give an interesting default view or annotations of these visualization. And once the author's part is finished, the readers can now start to play with the visualization or the data themselves. And this structure is more or less author-driven or controlled. And from my perspective, this is very suitable for public talks or conference. And the second structure is interactive slideshow. These follows a typical slideshow format, which we are very used to, and the readers can further explore a particular point in one section before moving on to the next section. And this structure balance well the author's and the reader's engagement with the content. From my perspective, it can be seen as combining multiple Martini glass structures sequentially together. So it is very suitable for lectures. And the third narrative structure, which is called the drill down story. This structure often presents a big picture of a theme and allow the readers to choose a more particular instance to reveal the underlying or additional details. And readers are taking control of these visualization. So this structure is more or less reader-driven, and the author should place himself or herself into the reader's shoes and prepare for any possible users' responses. And for the genres, we can briefly classify the storytelling into 7 different genres shown in these figures. And they each are very distinctive. And we can also see from the figures for each of the genres. Now I will only introduce, because there are 7 genres here, so I'm going to only introduce the magazine style to give you a hint. As we can see here, the magazine style resemble the contents format we often see in a magazine. And the text descriptions often occupy most of the space, and there will be 1 or 2 charts embedded into the text, as shown in this picture. And notice that there are cases where one genre is better than others. For example, the business presentation, when we should use the slideshow, because this is rather more formal situation, and we need to present our idea sequentially. And for the television commercials, we can use video because we need to use more soundtracks or effects to attract the audience. But however, most of the time, there is often no single right answer, but several possible candidates. So from my perspective, since we are in a new era when videos are popular worldwide, it is worthwhile to try to create a video illustration, video format visualization for doing storytelling. And last comes to our conclusion of today's talk. And first, storytelling consists of story and narration. And for the narration, we talk about the narrative structure and the genres. There are three main narrative structures: the martini glass structure, interactive slideshow, and drill down story. And for the genres, there are 7 genres in total, and there are cases where one genre is better than others. For example, the business presentation and the television commercials. But however, most of the time, we only choose the suitable one, depend on the content. So that's all for today. And here are the references. Thanks for listening.